Yo, what's going on? So, pretty recently, hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is, it's kind of fucking crazy. I know to some people that wouldn't be, like, a wild amount. But, dude, it feels like not even that long ago, I was just doing, like, tiny little vids just as a hobby, you know? I do them daily, nearly, just because I was having fun. Like, I remember the first video I ever did, the fucking Sean Tackle one, that was originally just, like, on Twitter. And someone was like, hey, you should put that on YouTube. And I was like, alright, put that on YouTube. It's crazy to me that I can just do what I do, having fun, talk about shit. And, you know, there's an audience of people who are like, hey, thing you did, that's pretty fucking neat. And, you know, like, even when I try new stuff, like, you know, Fighting Game Glance, and, like, especially Fighting Game Gold. I'm so glad Fighting Game Gold does as well as it does, because, like, you know, I like Fighting Game garbage, but it's more fun to be positive about stuff. So I really appreciate, you know, the good reception to that. And, like, outside of that even, the new videos that I'm doing where, like, I edit them a lot more. Jesus, they're really fun to do too, and the reception has been great, so thank you for everything, really. I can't say it enough. So I figured a nice way to commemorate hitting 20k would be to do a funny little, holy shit, my hair looks awful, to do a 20k Q&A. So a couple days ago, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be gone. Give me some questions. I'll come back. I'll answer them. And I got some on Twitter, some on YouTube, and we're gonna do the Twitter ones first. First up, since you're a big fan of big chunky grapplers, do you think you can explain why you like them maybe in a bit more detail? What is the appeal of playing a grappler? I love grapplers. There's no way around that. To be fair, I don't just play grapplers. I like big body characters in general. Like, I play Gold Lewis, I play Abigail. They're not grapplers. They're just big boys. They're like brawlers. There's two main reasons I like grapplers. One's pretty obvious, the other might be a bit weird. The first reason is big damage, you know. I like seeing health bars turn red. Simple as that. Fucking instant dopamine. And they usually have pretty short, high damage combos, which I also like. I don't have the best execution in the world, so I appreciate that. But the other reason is, I know grapplers are at their best when they're right next to the opponent, you know. But I like working my way in. I like when I'm full screen as a grappler, and the opponent's trying to keep me out, and I have to be like, okay, how are they keeping me out? How am I going to work around it? I like that a lot. That's very satisfying to me. And I know a lot of people will find that weird, because it's where grapplers are weakest. But I don't know, I just enjoy working around it. It's very satisfying to me. And you might be wondering, like, oh, if you like dictating the pace of a match at a distance, why not play zoners? And that's because zoners typically have pretty low damage. So yeah, I hope that kind of puts things into perspective, why I like grapplers the way I do. Do you think a high execution barrier justifies overwhelming tech or character strength, i.e. unblockable loops or Johnny in Xrd? That's a good one. Characters who are, like, super top tier, but they're very difficult, I'm a bit iffy on. It's obviously better for them to be more difficult than to just, like, have a character who's super good that anyone can pick up, like fucking Smash 4 Cloud. Like, I know Bale was the menace in Smash 4, but Cloud was so fucking easy, dude. You could throw a Wii U into a fucking zoo, and, like, the chimps will, like, pick up the controllers, fucking bang away, and they'll have made top 8 if you let them pick Cloud, honestly. But for, like, situational things, such as Aegis in Third Strike, Urian's Aegis Reflector, he can do some naughty shit with that. But Urian's probably the hardest character in the game, and it's quite difficult to do a lot of what he does. I think that's great, because, like, yeah, it's really difficult, and it's really strong. Aegis is one of the best supers in the game, but, like, he can't do it all the time. He needs Aegis, and Urian to compensate without meter is pretty bleh. So, I really like it when it's situational, but I think it's okay if it's an entire character. Who's your favorite Pokemon? Breloom. I like Breloom a lot. They're cute, but they're also good. Well, at least in, like, Gens 3 to 5. I don't really know about after that, but I like Pokemon that, and I like the way that they're good, too. They're not just, like, fast and strong or, like, really bulky. What makes them good is very interesting to me. Where did the name Big Yellow come from? Also, what if you painted your nails yellow for the video? That would be cool, methinks. Big Yellow, there's not really much meaning behind it. It just comes from, like, 2016, 2017, like, when I was in my old friend group in secondary, and then, like, someone on Discord had their their name was Big Black, and I was like, hey, I'm Big Yellow. And then someone else was like, hey, I'm Big Green. And then someone else was like, hey, I'm Big Blue. And then it wasn't funny anymore. But yeah, there's not much more to it than that. And I don't think I'd ever personally paint my nails yellow. I like black because it works with stuff. It's very flexible. Yellow is a bit out there. It's hard to make work with other colors. But it's an idea. It's an idea. What do you think about counter-hit based game design of modern fighting games? I like it. I like it a lot. I like counter-hits being important. It means what the opponent does matters. In that makes sense? Like, what the opponent does matters to you. I mean, obviously, that it's kind of tricky to describe, but I do like it. I really do. I like the awareness of going, oh, I got a counter hit. I can do this now. Obviously, that's different from game to game. Fucking Guilty Gear Strive. If you get a counter hit, heavy slash, it's like, hey, listen. You got a counter hit. Just letting you know, you got a counter hit, okay? Just so you know, right? You got a counter hit. We're gonna fill the entire screen with counter. I enjoy that. I like that a lot, honestly. I know some people don't. I think it's very satisfying. But yeah, overall, I like counter-hit-based game design. I think it's a cool mechanic. There is one strand of hair that is sticking up. Alright, cool. Most wanted DLC character for Strife. Ooh. Honestly, I just want to see more new characters. The 3 new characters in Strife are all fucking awesome. I'd love to see more of that. But typically, if I had to pick a returning character, it would definitely be Abba. I think Abba's a really interesting character, and they've kind of got that 12 effect, where obviously Abba is a lot stronger in the context of her game than 12 is in Third Strike, but she's only in one game, and she's not particularly strong in that game. You get me? So it'd be nice to see her get another chance. For how long have you been playing fighting games? I think way back. I remember playing Tekken Tag Tournament 1 with my friend on his PS2. Like, way back. The first fighting game I ever owned was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And then after that, I think I played Street Fighter 4 on the fucking 3DS. I'd love to talk about that sometime. Like, I know it's like one of the worst ways to play Street Fighter 4, but god, it's so fucking cool. They got Street Fighter 4 to work on a 3DS at 60 FPS. That's insane to me. Does Lightning McQueen buy car insurance or life insurance? You are playing a dangerous game. Lightning McQueen is not to be questioned under any circumstance. If you ever comment on my Twitter again, I'll just assume it's Lightning McQueen after he killed you for daring to question him. I've never really seen you talk about or mention TF2, but assuming with your heavy picture, what hopes do you have for the eventual heavy update? Dude, I like TF2, but I want to like it more. Leon Massey tweeted about it recently, and I couldn't agree more. He was like, oh, it's time for the week or 2 weeks where I play the shit out of TF2, and then don't again for the rest of the year. I'm the same. I'll just have, like, phases where I'm super into TF2, and then I'm just not. For a heavy update, I would like to see shit weapons get buffed, because that's basically like getting new weapons. Maybe a weapon that lets heavy have an alternate playstyle. Man vs. Machine updates would be cool. Honestly, as unlikely as it is, I think at this point I would rather see Team Fortress 3. I want to see something new, something fresh. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see it happen. Are you into any other style of game besides fighting games and Pokemon? Can we expect more non-fighting videos on the channel? I had one idea for a video that I'd like to do at some point. And it's on Mario Kart 64. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it, but I think that would potentially be pretty interesting. That's a weird fucking game. But other than that, what do I enjoy? I really like, it's kind of a bygone era of gaming now, because it's all been turned into shitty fucking mobile games and stuff. I miss that, like, casual era of gaming, you know? Where you just sit back and you click on stuff. Like PopCap games, like fucking Peggle, Zuma, Insane Aquarium. I love shit like that, you know? Where I can just turn my brain off for a bit and click on stuff. Other than that, I don't play too much. I like puzzle games now and again. You know, I play a lot of indie stuff. I don't really care what it is, you know? Fun game is fun. What got you into fighting games? I think When it really clicked with me was sometime in 2013, 14? I'm gonna say 13. I remember just being bored on Smash Wiki and seeing a link to a tournament set and being like, oh, I wonder what this is. And I watched it and I was like, holy shit, look at them go. Why is the commentary so fucking hype? Oh my god, I gotta get in on this. And like, after watching that, I just wanted to find more and more and more. I wanted to see more tournament stuff. That's when like it really clicked for me. And there are some other sets since that I really like. I think my favorite, I'm not related, but I think my favorite set of all time in tournament is Alex Faye versus Bonchan in Ultra Street Fighter 4. You know the one, the Hugo, Bonchan, no, Hugo versus Sagat. That is a great fucking set. I love that with all my heart. That's so hype. I could watch that 10 times over. Okay, we're gonna move on to the YouTube questions. Let's go. You could make a King of Fighters style team with characters from anywhere, even non-fighting game. How is the team composed? Team name. That's a great question. That's a fun question. I like that one a lot. Right, Hugo from Street Fighter, Soul Bad Guy, and an actual silverback gorilla. His name is Randy, and he fights with a log, like a tree log. And he owns a belt, but he doesn't wear it, because making monkeys dress up in little clothes is really shitty and fucked up. So he only, like, ties the belt around the log, so he can get a better grip on it and fight better. Team name? Team Jungle. The Three Apes United. Man, that'd be fun. Someone make Randy. I want to see Randy become a thing. The developers of your favorite fighting game have come directly to you to pick the next character from the game, and it can be literally any character. The character will be adapted. Oh, fuck. Oh, wait, there's more to this one. Who would you pick and how would they play, even if it's the stupidest character ever? My personal ideal, not realistic pick whatsoever would be Ben 10 for Smash. Man, can you fucking imagine? I think, I don't know how out there this is. I want to see a Mingo from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 come back. I don't give a fuck what he comes back into. You know? He could be a Tekken character for all I care. I just want to see him again, dude. He was so fun. He was so silly. He literally just showed up in Marvel 2 for no reason. And he was just cool, and that was it. He never appeared again. Give him another shot. He was so fucking cool. What has been your most consistently loved fighting game and why, and your most disliked fighting game and why? Ooh. Most loved is tricky. I think it's it's between two games. It's definitely between Melee and Third Strike. There's no way around it. And in some areas Melee's up, and then in some areas Third Strike is up. I love the history of Third Strike. You know, I feel like I'm more inclined to just hop onto Third Strike now and again than I am to hop onto Melee now and again. Parry is the coolest mechanic. Ever. Ever. If you guess right and you just tap forward, the instant dopamine of parrying something. Red parry. If you can get red parries down, it's the coolest fucking thing ever. Nothing feels as good as, like, red parrying your way out of fucking Ken Super 3. I've done that a couple times, and it feels so fucking good. Honestly. But Melee, I love Melee's movement. It's fucking phenomenal. Says the Bowser player. I have more fun watching Melee. I love Melee's movement. And also, I have a lot more interaction with the community. I love the EU Melee community. It's super chill. It's super cool. You know, not a lot of shenanigans. It's just a good time. I don't think I could pick one, honest to God. As for least favorite, I think this one might disappoint a few people, because I've been asked about this game a couple times. I think my most disliked fighting game is Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament is a game that I really, really wanted to enjoy. I love fighting games. I love Pokemon. But it just didn't, dude. The game makes no fucking effort to teach you anything. Like, never got patched, I think? I don't know. Like... And half the time it's an arena fighter, which is like an instant red flag, right? I don't like arena fighters. For the most part, you know? Like, there's gotta be like a fighting game bible fucking locked away somewhere, right? And it's just like... The only good arena fighter is Shrek Super Slam. Don't try and make another one. My controller fell on the floor. That's how fucking... That's how passionate I am about that. But yeah, it just... Nothing about the game clicked for me. The game had really sick combos, but it didn't matter because the scaling was dog shit, so like the shorter ones would do more damage. Nothing about Pokken clicked for me, and I wish it did. I really wish it did. Not a bad game, but probably the fighting game that has disappointed me the most. If there was one fighting game that really inspired you to make this channel what it is today, what would it be and why? Again, I think it's a toss-up between Melee and Third Strike because they're both pretty old games that I am very passionate about, that I really enjoy, and they've both got a lot of weird shit going on under the hood, you know what I mean? I guess my question would be, what was the Tekken vid you said you were doing forever ago gonna be about? Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. It was Prototype Jack in Tekken Tag 1, because I played so much Tekken Tag 1 as a kid, you know? And I loved Prototype Jack. I played him. I didn't realize how shit he was, but I just played him because he was a cool little robot dude. There's two reasons I never really did the video. One of them I've talked about, and the other I haven't. One is because I had emulator issues. The game just would not fucking run for me whatsoever. It was a massive hassle, and people did suggest a better solution, and that seemed to work pretty fine. But the other issue I had was there was this site I used to use for Tag 2 frame data when I played that game. And they had Tekken Tag 1 frame data, but when I checked it recently, it's all gone. Like, all the Tekken Tag 1 stuff is taken down, and I don't know where to get, like, info on Tag 1, which is a massive shame. Because I would like to talk about it, but, like, it was just... It felt like nothing worked out, you know what I mean? I guess it has... That has served as a lesson to me, to, like, not say I'm gonna do stuff unless I've started it. You get what I mean? But yeah... I don't know if I'll ever get round to it, but who knows? Who knows? How do you think the skills you develop in a fighting game are applicable to real life? Outside of, like, reaction time, I don't think they really are that applicable, you know what I mean? I think the skills you develop from fighting games that could be applicable to real life would mostly be, like, community interaction. Like, I feel a lot more confident as a person, like, meeting people, like, through fighting games and, you know, showing them how to do stuff. It feels good to teach people how to do things. But that's, like, again, that's community stuff. I don't think the games themselves will do too much for you in that regard. What got you to do the series on non-playable Street Fighter V characters? Did you see a tweet showcasing them playable? No, that's a good question, though. It was back in, like, Season 1, Baphael did, like, a little Peter B&B video. And he had a stream where he looked at the dolls in Street Fighter V. And seeing that made me really want to play these characters. And I dug around to find the mod for it. And I eventually found one. And there were a few reasons I wanted to talk about them. One, because the soldiers and 2P were there, who were pretty much undocumented. And at that point, this was after Season 3 of Street Fighter V. So we had frame data in-game and stuff, like frame advantage. So that made it a lot easier to talk about. I didn't just have to, like, kind of fiddle about and figure it out myself. Talking about non-playable characters is fun, you know? And it's also handy because, like, if you talk about a bottom tier, you might, like, in a negative fashion, you might upset someone who, like, really likes the character or, you know, has a lot of faith in them. No one's gonna be pissed if you chat shit about, like, Peter, you know? Or fucking 2P. You get me? How do you manage/deal with being into so many games' competitive scenes? I barely know enough about 1 to 2 games, but you know about tons, plus the meta of 90s Pokemon generations. That's a very good question, and the answer's pretty simple. I'm not super invested into any, like, competitive scene, right? I dabble in a lot of them, but I don't really care about, you know, winning a tournament or, you know, going... You know, beating good players and stuff like that. I play all these games for fun, and I happen to find the metas interesting, you know? Or like, sometimes they're very relevant, even if you're just playing the game for fun, you know? Like, I'm never gonna, like, sweat my way up to Master or Diamond in Street Fighter V. I'm hanging out in Platinum, and I'm very happy, just enjoying the game for what it is, having fun, talking about it, you know? And there's, for the record, there's nothing wrong with, like, striving to be the best, you know? It's just not for me. You know, you see it a lot in the Melee scene. So many people who play Melee really want to go far. I don't. I play Bowser, and I'm perfectly happy doing that. I'm just hanging out, having a good time. I think that can be a good outlook to have when you play fighting games. Or just like anything with a competitive scene. Just play for fun first, and if you happen to do well, then that's a nice bonus. What do you think is the most interesting fighting game matchup? Oh, there's an anonymous question. I won't put this one in, but that's a good one. Personally, I don't know if it's that interesting of a matchup, but it's a matchup I find really fun. Is Hugo versus Chun-Li in Third Strike. That's a really bad matchup for Hugo, but I do quite enjoy it. It's very satisfying to make it work. You really have to pay attention to what the Chun's doing, right? You know, a lot of it comes down to just, like, predicting when a heavy punch is going to be coming and getting the cheeky parry. It's really fun to, like, make it work, in my opinion. Other than that, there's a few matchups I would find quite interesting. I guess, like, okay, in Melee, I find Mewtwo's matchups really interesting. Because I feel like Mewtwo is a character where so many people wrote them off for the longest time, and it's only now coming into, like, the public eye that it's like, oh shit, this character can do stuff. I really love seeing what people think about Mewtwo's matchups and how they make certain matchups work. For sure. So I think that would make... Those two would be, like, some of my biggest candidates. What's your absolute favorite fighting game character of all time? Probably Oro. I love the concept of Oro, right? A lot of the most canonically, like, extremely powerful characters in Street Fighter are just, like, really power-hungry or just, like, you know, godly and shit. Oro's just a guy who happens to be the strongest character in the fucking canon. You know? He just lives in a fucking cave. You know? He just ties his arm behind his back or holds a turtle because why the fuck not? His turtle is his best friend, you know? He's just a goofy guy who happens to be ridiculously powerful, and I think that's super cool. Shoutouts to Gold Lewis, though. Gold Lewis is, like, my favorite recent character in fighting games. I love Gold Lewis. He's so fucking cool. He's so fun. You know? Oh, I love him. What is your favorite game aside from fighting games, and have you ever played Heritage for the Future? If yes, do you have any intention to do a video on it? My favorite game outside of fighting games is probably Bayonetta 2. The shame that game is just, like, stuck on Nintendo hardware, because it's a really fucking good game. Really fucking good game. I've never played Heritage for the Future. I'm not a JoJo person. I haven't watched anime in, like, 5+ years. But I might try it out sometime. You know, it looks really fun, that's for sure. How do you feel about fighting game characters being accurate to real martial arts, and is it even important? That's a great one. The way I feel is, like, it's really nice if you can be accurate to real martial arts, but have fun with it, right? Like characters like Makoto, you know? Because if you just stick to just martial arts, right, then that's kind of boring. But Makoto has, like, a bunch of unique stuff on top of that, and it all fits in, you know? None of it seems out of place, you know? Be accurate and have respect for the martial art that you're basing the character off, but don't be afraid to have fun with it, you know? Just tell us what your characters are. I think we kind of know, but I'd be interested in seeing it all put together in one video. Potemkin Main's Rise. Ooh, you're not gonna like this. In Guilty Gear Strive, I play Gold Lewis Dickinson and Soul Bad Guy. Not Potemkin. It's a funny story how I stopped playing Potemkin. When Gold Lewis came out, I loved him so much, I played pretty much exclusively Gold Lewis for pretty much, like, a straight month. And then when I tried Pot again, I kind of forgot how to play him. So I was thinking, right, I could relearn Potemkin, or I could try and learn a character who maybe, like, compensates for Gold Lewis's weaknesses a bit more. And that's how I, like, came to Soul Bad Guy. And he is stupid fun. He's a stupid fucking character. He's playing his own game, but I don't care. I'm having the time of my life. I do think about Potemkin a lot, though. You know? Like, as much fun as I have with Gold Lewis and Soul, sometimes I'll be like, God, I wish I could just Potemkin Buster someone 3 times in a row. Who knows? I could end up jumping ship to Potemkin again. As for other games, in Street Fighter V, I play Abigail. In Third Strike, I play Chun-Li and Hugo. Little bit of Oro. In Street Fighter 4, I played Hugo and Gouken. I don't really play Mortal Kombat 11 anymore, but when I did, I played Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. Am I missing anything? Oh, Melee, of course. Melee. I love Bowser. I would probably play a different character if I had like a box or a frame 1, just because the main reason I went to Bowser in the first place was because my hands were hurting so much. I wanted a very low execution character. But I do love Bowser. I'd love to talk about Bowser sometime. He's a fun little guy. What got you into competitive Pokemon, and what are your opinions on the Gen 2 to 3 meta? It's actually kind of interesting how I got into competitive Pokemon. I started, like, enjoying Pokemon around Generation 4. I played the game when I was pretty young, and I loved it. And then I moved on to Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. I had White 2, and it's amazing. I still think to this day, Pokemon Black and White 2 are the best Pokemon games by a long shot. They are phenomenal. And I was aware of the competitive scene, but I never really dabbled into it. But the thing is, after Black and White 2, I got Pokemon Y. And the thing with Pokemon X and Y is that they're kind of fucking terrible. Right? They are absolute piss easy. There is fuck all to do after you beat the champion. So I was kind of like, right, I could just stop playing this game, or I can try and make the most out of it. And that's what I did. I tried training a competitive team and learning about the meta. And while I don't play Gen 6 onwards in competitive anymore, I only really like Gens 1 to 5. I have to give Gen 6 that. It did get me into competitive Pokemon. For a bit of a strange reason, but hey, it is what it is. Since Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is coming out, is there a potential for fighting game something, FGG there? 100%. I'm really fucking excited for this game. I don't give a fuck about Nickelodeon. I am not a cartoon guy in the fucking slightest. I barely know any of these fucking characters, but like, it looks so fucking fun, dude. You know, and I would trust Ludosity to make an incredible game. You know, they did Slap City, which is amazing. It's got rollback netcode, you know, everything is lining up for this game to be amazing, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. Any RPGs besides Pokemon you care for? Final Fantasy, or stuff like that? Little bit. I'm not really an RPG guy. I like Xenoblade 1, I think it's pretty good. I love Xenoblade X. Xenoblade X is one of my favorite games of all time. Xenoblade 2 is one of my least favorite games of all time, but that's a story for another day. It's not a bad game, but god did it. Xenoblade 2 was like, okay, let's say going from Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade X to Xenoblade 2, it's like watching Terminator and loving it. So then you go and watch Terminator 2 and you love it. But then you pop in the disc for Terminator 3 and High School Musical 3 starts playing. Is it bad? No. Is it what I want? No. That's pretty much it. But I don't play too many other RPGs. Is Fire Emblem an RPG? I don't know. I don't play a lot of it, but I have a lot of respect for it. I played a little bit of Shin Megami Tensei, and that's pretty fucking cool. I liked the Mario and Luigi series. I like old Paper Mario, stuff like that. I'm not massive into RPGs, but the ones I enjoy, I really enjoy. Who's the most concurrent character that you use in your favorite franchise? I had to look up what that meant. That's like, basically if I'm a character loyalist, no, not at all. I just kind of go like, oh, where's the big character? I want to play him, you know? I don't really stick to the same characters from game to game. I'm just like, we're big. What are your thoughts on Soul Calibur 6 as a serious fighting game and not just a wacky character creator? It's pretty good. Pretty fun to watch. I enjoyed playing it, the small amount I did play. It's just a little unfortunate. It kind of falls into that, like, that fighting game hell of being a sick game with bad netcode. You know, so many sick games fall into that, and it's a shame. It is a shame, too, that it's kind of just known for the character creator. Because it's a genuinely great game. If you could bring one mostly forgotten fighting game back to the modern day with a remake or remaster, what would you choose? See, that's tough because, like, there's so many fighting games that are just stuck in, like, you know, like, stuck in a hardware hell, right? Where they can't be emulated on Fightcade, but the only way to play them online is with netplay, which fucking sucks. You know, like, there's so many games like that, like, fucking, the Street Fighter EX series, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. What else is there? What else is there? Oh, I'm Shrek Super Slam. Shrek Super Slam, that's one even. It's hard to say. I just kind of... You just kind of want to see all fighting games have that, you know? You just want to see everyone be able to play whatever they want with, like, good netcode. It's a shame. Please play Milty Bloob. It's so good and it's easy to learn, so please play it and also play Smash Ultimate. Funnily enough, when I read this comment a couple days ago, I remember reading it. I installed Melty Blood, so it's just sitting there, you know, waiting for its time to shine. And I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try for sure. Smash Ultimate, though. Me and Smash Ultimate are done, unfortunately. I got it when it came out. I played it until, like, the end of Season Pass 1. I nearly had fun with it. It was fine. I don't think I'm ever going to revisit it. It is what it is. Good game, not for me. Is it possible to enjoy Melee with a normal GameCube controller? I was horrified to learn that the game is clunky and miserable without some 300... No, you can just play Melee with whatever you want. Like, honestly. Like, it's... Unless you're, like, super top-level Omega tournament winning, whatever. Just play with whatever you want. You'll get around it. You know, you'll run into the odd tiny issue, maybe, but it's not a massive deal, you know? I would like a frame 1 or a box, mainly because I struggle with hand pain. But, like, that's just me, you know? Do what you want. Play the game whatever you can play it with. What do you do when you're not playing Vidya? What's your major? My course in college is Creative Media and Interaction Design, which I know that's a bit of a red flag, hearing college and media in the same sentence. But no, it's really fun. It's just like graphic design, audio engineering, that kind of shit. It's nice. I've had a lot of fun with it. Man, I miss college, actually. Like, we've mainly been doing it online. Hopefully we're going back in January, you know. I miss the college experience. I miss the guys, dude. I miss everyone. Fuck. And this semester we're just doing, like, work instead of having, classes and such. So, like, what I'm doing at the moment is I do remote work. I'm working with a mental health association, and I love it. It's all volunteer work, it's not paid, but it'd feel kind of wrong if it was, you know what I mean? I just enjoy what I do. It's something that's quite important to me. And of course the money I make from YouTube helps alleviate the fact that I don't make money from that. That helps offset, you know, college cash money and stuff, you know? Wait, when the hell did you get so many subs? I've no fucking idea. I just did. What do you think of Nintendo and Smash copyright stuff? I don't think too highly of Nintendo in general anymore, and it's a shame. I grew up with Nintendo, right? But it just feels like over time Nintendo get less and less cool, straight up. Like, I remember during the Wii, like when I was a kid, I was like, wow, you're awesome. And then during the Wii U era, I was like, wow, you make some good shit, but it's kind of fucked up how you, like, try to kill every fucking content creator there is for Nintendo. And now it's just like, man, you kind of fucking suck. As for the copyright stuff, it's extremely shitty. I mean, I know that, like, if you've never felt the touch of a woman, you could argue, oh, it's within Nintendo's right, it's they're protecting their IPs, but, like, shut the fuck up. Just let people have fun, man. Like, Nintendo shutting down all these tournaments and, like, every fucking fan game to ever exist, it's just like, God. You get so sick of it. Like, I can understand the shutting down the Melee one. I still think it was extremely shitty, but there are reasons, right? It required an emulator to play, and it had rollback netcode, which shows up Nintendo because they have no idea how to internet. But shutting down the Project Plus tournament at Riptide is so scummy. Nintendo gained nothing, and it hurts a pretty small but dedicated community, you know? It's really fucked up. Really fucked up. Just let people have fun, man. Honestly. What's your favorite movie? It's actually a tough one. I don't really have a favorite movie. I just kind of have, like, a collection of movies that I think are really, really fucking good. And then, like, the one that I watched most recently normally just ends up being my favorite, right? You know, shit like Baby Driver, RoboCop, La La Land, Ratatouille. You know, a lot of movies like that. I love all of them, and whichever one I watched last is normally like, movie. That's my favorite. I like that one. Thoughts on Blaze Blue? Not a lot. I don't know anything about it, but it looks pretty cool. So, hey. But yeah, that's everything, really. thank you everyone who submitted a question. I think I might have skipped a few maybe, but they were just kind of similar to questions I'd already answered, so I hope you don't mind. This was really fun to do. I love that I can do it at all. I love that I have enough of an audience that there are questions for me to answer. Really fun to do. So thank you to everyone, and again, thanks for 20k subscribers. I think the next video is going to be a fighting game gold, so look forward to that. And then after that, I have some ideas for something else entirely. So take it easy, take care, and have a good one.